Now it's time to know what's on the front page of Nigerian newspapers. Joining us is political technocrat Dr. Dayo Kaide and strategy consultant and public affairs analyst Igbo Presidency. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. All right, let's head straight to the papers now, and I begin with the blueprint. As military dominates theater of operation, troops kill 50 bandits, recover livestock in Zamfara. El Rufai condemns locals protest at troops base. We killed 3 bandits in raid, not herders, Amotekun. All right, let's quickly move now to the front page of the Daily Times. Astute diplomat George Obiozor elected Ohaneze President General. Astute diplomat George Obiozor elected Ohaneze President General. That story on the front page of the Daily Times. To the front page of the leadership newspaper now, 2023 calls for Igbo Presidency spark national debate. Igbo can't deliver a presidential candidate, says Middle Belt ethnic nationalities. It is the turn of North Central NCPF. No, it's time for Southwest to take the shot. That's Afenifere reacting, YPM as well. Northern elders insist on merit competence. Well, we'll only support a candidate that understands our challenges. ECF, Southeast governors dissociate themselves. All right, to the front page of the Business AM now. Electricity hike. Stakeholders say awful tariff adjustment to punish citizens. NERC plans another hike from July 2021. On the front page of the National Economy, AFCTA brightens prospects for Nigeria's downstream sector as local refineries target Q4, that's the fourth quarter of 2021, for full operation. On the front page of the Business Day, New Year, old worries, 4 naira. New Year, old worries, 4 naira. That story on the front page of the Business Day. To the Daily Independent now, banks to rationalize staff branches as costs mount. Banks to rationalize staff branches as costs mount. And on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct now, unclaimed dividend dormant accounts, federal government shareholders at war over 895 billion naira loan proposal. Serap wants federal government to shelf plan a loan proposal to cripple banks, President BCAN. All right, to the Guardian newspaper now. Late PIB passage threatens 4 trillion naira marginal fields earnings. Federal government looks to bid round to increase reserves. Host communities insists on right of refusal. To the Daily Sun, recession. Nigerian embassies in disarray. Can't pay rent, allowances, maintenance bills, 82 missions without ambassadors. All right, I can hear your reactions, gentlemen. All right, let's keep moving now. To the front page of the Daily Trust now, 37 burnt to death in Bauchi, Nasarawa road crashes. Taraba Prince, wife, 4 children perish. Buhari orders condole ex-rep Nguroje, children, women among the dead in Bauchi. A really sad story there. And to the front page of the Vanguard newspaper now, COVID-19 autumn isolates itself as Ekiti imposes curfew, 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew in Ekiti. Public gatherings, more than 20 banned. Buhari should wear face mask in public as role model. Tomori, Obaseki urges banks to intensify efforts to curb COVID-19 second wave. How vaccines will be administered, NPHCDA there. All right, and finally, on the front page of the Nation newspaper, COVID-19, government to spend $8 each on vaccine for 144 million immunization for 70% of Nigeria's population. All right, gentlemen, so much on the front page of the papers this morning, but there is a story that has been making the rounds over the weekend, and it has to do with the NIN. Nigerians will be needing the NIN, that's the National Identification Number, for the registration of their vehicle papers, whatever kind. The FRSC, that's the Federal Road Safety Corps, is saying that every Nigerian would be needing that. And that has generated some diverse reactions. You know, NIN itself, the registration, had generated one reaction. And now you're asking people that, telling people that before you can register your vehicle papers, you need this. And the question on the lips of many is it necessary? If you say we are trying to tackle issues of security, is that what it should be? I'll start with you, Dikbo.
Yeah, so interestingly, this whole NIN conversation is still dragging on. And I remember very vividly that 11 months ago, exactly 11 months ago, sometime around this week, to be 11 months, that we had the same conversation on the same platform when they announced that we're going to have the NIN done, it had to be linked to your SIM cards and all of that. And then there were certain questions that were asked. And then, so it is interesting that after 11 months, we haven't seen those questions being answered. One, how smooth have they ensured that the process be? What mechanisms have they put in place to ensure that it's been seamless? Of recent now, they've had the short codes with the telecom providers and all of that. But the question is how many people have been able to get theirs through that platform? Now, the people that need to get theirs physically, how have they ensured that that process is seamless? We
must also bear in mind that a lot of Nigerians do not even have not been able to get their cards. The number itself, they're still trying to register. And the minister, Isa Pantami, came out to say that it just takes 5 minutes. But we see people, long queues everywhere. And some persons are not even, have to pay.
Yes, so a lot of people have been exploited to pay between 3,000 to 5,000 naira. Yeah. And speaking of the cards, now interestingly, around the same last year when we had the conversation, we had a lot of reports of people collecting their cards and it had already expired before they collected it. And the question is now, I registered for my national identity number. It's called my national identity number. It's supposed to be unique to me as a citizen of Nigeria. Why does it have to expire? Why does the card have to expire? Now, so does that mean after 5 years I'm no longer a Nigerian citizen? Or are you going to reallocate my number to someone else? But bringing it to the FRSC, is it quite necessary? I would say not exactly, but I believe that it is a strategy by the government to ensure that everybody gets it done. So you try to see how you can create bottlenecks or stiffen people out so that you see that you'll soon start to hear that maybe before you can pay your house rent or something like that, you need your name. So they try to box us in to ensure that, okay, for every facet of life, before you can get anything done, then you get the name. So they're hoping that people take it a lot more seriously than that. But I would say that we don't throw the baby away with the bathwater. And it's not so much of a chicken or egg situation where they need to understand that getting things right in terms of people getting the number is the first priority. Now, if people get the number seamlessly, I mean, we'll gladly link it to every other thing you want it linked to. Birth certificates, death certificates, whatever you want us to link it to, we will link it to it. But the question is, how easy is it for people to get the number in the first place?
5 minutes.
That is something theoretically.
But
practically, says. That isn't the situation.
All right, so let's get your angle to this, Dr. Dayakaide.
Yeah, you see, I picked up Paul's statement where he said, don't throw the
baby with the bathwater
away with the bathwater. Yeah, good enough. But if you look at the activities of this government, to what extent have they been making their activities for people to do things seamlessly? All right? Look at even the issue of BVN.
Oh, my.
All right? Look at the issue of the former ID card, national ID card during the reign of Baba Obasanjo, and then being headed by late this man from Osun State, you know. Obviously, all these things put together is just to show that, yes, government, they do have good intentions, but their good intentions are there to stifle people out of conveniences.
Really?
Sure. Listen, we all have our phone numbers registered, okay? Most people, a larger percentage of the population, we all have BVN.
Absolutely.
All right? A larger percentage of Nigerians, we also have PVCs. So why can't you link all these things together, okay, and come up with a strategy that can easily allocate those numbers?
Such that all that you do is update.
You don't even need, the moment it's there, it's there.
So it generates it for you.
The moment you get your green card is there. And these are people that they are also having green cards. They all have dual nationality. And And they know the way all these things operate.
So you expect they should know better?
Sure. So what I'm now saying is, yes, it's not everybody that are having BVN. It's not everybody that are having PVC. It's not everybody that have their numbers registered. But the moment you are able to collate all this data together, you put them in proper perspective, you will know those that are remaining. All right? Those that are remaining now, let them now go through a process whereby they can now have, and to that extent, it will reduce the number of people. My dear, you need to go to this place last week and see what is happening there.
Where is that?
That place at Ikeja,
yeah,
in front of the secretariat. I had pictures. I went there to interview people. All right? Now, and this is a government that is talking about COVID. I don't like calling it 419 again. Let them just call it whatever they like. When you say you have COVID, people should respect that distance, whatever, social distance and all that. And then look at that crowd. Who is making that crowd to exist? It is the activities of the government. So, and if you know that you want people to observe social distance, why don't you come up with strategies that can make the procedure in his office and do his own without the two of us meeting each other?
Technology.
Technology is there. Why can't we do it? But the moment you go there, pam, pam, it gets to that their own office. And then you are being allocated automatically. You go somewhere to print it out. You go somewhere to print, you laminate it until when the other one will be ready. Now look at road safety. They're now bringing in that. Between you and me, whatever we do in this country, we always bring in extortionist ideas. When you get to road safety now, somebody will not be asking you because you don't have this. Instead of you paying 16,000, go and pay 20,000. We all know what happens. Yes. We are all aware of what we all have been facing. Not only in road safety, in so many institutions, even at our airports. Even at our airports. I heard of a case on Saturday about somebody trying to cross the border. Say, okay, where's the COVID whatever certificate? Okay, go to so place and do it. The person got there, he couldn't do it. Those people say, oh, no time. Okay, go to this. Okay. After turning that person up and down, and they know that time is money for everybody. Okay, you should know pay so much and go.
There has been conversation around COVID-19 certificates.
So the issue is government should come up with policies like you say, don't throw away the baby with the bathwater. Yes, we're going to do it. But I made the process seamless. Then stop putting people in unnecessary aggro. Because hustling in Nigeria already is a big aggro on everybody.
All right. Let's even look at this issue now. It has been said by the FRC to address issues of security challenges. And the question on the lips of some Nigerian is, all of the data we have been collecting, how have we used that to address these issues of security challenges?
Yes, so that was also going to be my next point. Interestingly, you're asking that as a question. So yes, we have also been asking, all the data you've been getting all this while, what have you done with it? It's not just about synchronizing the data. It's about being able to analyze the data. Taking the conversation back to 11 months ago, when this whole named conversation started up. Now, I would have expected that the minister in charge of the whole matter be able to call the CEOs of telecoms and every other person, all the stakeholders involved. Let's have the data. How many Nigerians do we have? How many registered phone numbers do we have? What is this and that? So you can always envisage to say that, okay, you know what, within the space of 10 months, you're giving people to register. These are the millions of people that are yet to register. So how do we ensure that that works? We are good with collecting data. We're not good with executing anything tangible with the data, unfortunately, which is what we've been complaining about time and time again. But we're hoping that with all this outrage from people right now, that they get their act right. Because, I mean, this is quite unacceptable. We have a lot of data across different platforms, across board. But somehow we're not seeing it materialize into anything. Even being able to distribute COVID materials, COVID relief materials.
These are the things that can be used to deal with that.
To deal with that. So we're good at collecting data, and then they just collect the data, they dump it somewhere, and then you start to work analog. So the question is, all the data you claim to have on your servers that you collected electronically, that you collected on paper, and then you uploaded somewhere, what are you doing with it? Was that just an exercise in futility? So yes, we are hoping to see a lot more data being used in the execution of government policies. But as of today, unfortunately, that's not what we're seeing right now. But for the sake of the future and posterity, seeing that we get anything done, it is important that the people in authority, as regards the Nigerian government at every level, either elected or appointed, understand that data has a major role to play in whatever development they were trying to drive in this country.
Absolutely.
You know what? We have data. We have brilliant people that analyzes these data. We have brilliant people that knows what to use these data for.
So what is the challenge?
What comes to my pocket? It is the pocket. Everybody,
really?
Yeah, everybody. And that's why you allocate so much billions to activities. And you can we quantify how much money have been allocated to electricity in this country? Can we quantify how much money have been allocated to road construction? We are aware of the 16 billion of the other time. We are aware of hundreds of billions of dollars given to discos. What have they used it for?
That's
Do you
the
understand?
question.
It's because of pockets. Not until when government decide to say, okay, we want to govern these people with one, competence, character, and a sort of having pity on the people, compassion on the people. Not until then can we see progress. We will get all those things, but it will just be there. Why? Because of hedonistic tendencies.
Let's quickly get to this paper before we rush off to do something else. The story on the front page of the Daily Sun, I saw your reactions, and I would like to have that on the air. The front page of the Daily Sun talking about recession, Nigerian embassies in disarray, can't pay rent, allowances, maintenance bills, 82 missions without ambassadors. I recall that there was a time that you and I had this conversation off the air outside, and we're talking about this. Now, let me begin with you, Dikbo. You seem to have some reservation with all of this.
Yes, I do.
This interests you, I'm certain.
Yes, it does. And for me, it is, like I'll say, it is embarrassing, because I would expect that at this level that we have, I keep talking about the pride of place, okay, and having an understanding of where we are on the continent and where we are in the world, either we like it or not. It is just there. But that being said, saying that a recession is the reason why we're not having our embassies funded. Now, I have always asked this question. Ideally, what mechanism do we have in place? What are the processes for the funding of the embassies? Are you telling me that we just have people that we send to foreign nations, that are on foreign missions, and then all the revenue they need, or all the income they need, all the resources they need in terms of the financial resources, we send everything from Nigeria to them? Are you telling me that they do not generate any form of revenue from their local stations? What happens to the revenue they generate from those local stations? Are you telling me that they just generate those revenues and then they send it down, so they don't even get to cover anything like operational costs, salaries, interest, and all of that? I've always asked that question. So this is part of, so for me, this is quite symptomatic of the larger disease of a lot of mismanagement and not being able to execute processes a lot more intelligently.
Checks and balances?
Checks and balances, and execute processes a lot more intelligently. Because I see no reason why we should be having this conversation around, okay, research, we're not the only nation being hit by the virus or whatever excuse they want to use. And we're not hearing that all other nations, even nations that don't get as many visitors as we do in Nigeria, saying that they're having all of these challenges, and it is just really embarrassing.
Sometimes in I think 2002 or thereabout, I was in our Nigerian embassy in UK, and I wanted to use the loo. You should see how smelly that place was. And a small boy of about 7 years was saying, "Dad, I'm sure NEPA will soon take light here because of what we were seeing there." Now the question is, let us go to our budget. Have we not been allocating funds to all these foreign missions? All right? Now, when you even say budget, you allocate fund, how many people are you supposed to send to some of these missions? Because you would tell me you send the same number of people, the same caliber of people, you are sending to UK, to US, to the same to Cotonou here, or to Togo. All right? You won't tell me that the amount of money you are spending in our foreign mission in Canada or even in South Africa is what you are now spending in our foreign mission in somewhere like Liberia or Mauritius. So these are issues. And like I said, there is a total systemic breakdown in this country, heightened by insincerity. Not until when we remove that insincerity between you and me, we ain't going to get nowhere. And that is why, like you were saying, I saw the pains in you that we collected a lot of data. We have eggheads that have done correlation, regression, trend analysis, this and that in the university, even beyond that are there. That they know pam, this will give you result. Pam, this will give you result. But after that result, what next? Because nothing is coming to their pockets, they will drop it there and let people suffer. Because they know when people are suffering,
who is there
they
now?
will come.
Who is it there?
The government.
Really?
Yes, the government. Those people at the end of our fear. And that's why you see them, and that's why you see a level 12 officer building mansions. Going to the village with retinue of big cars. Level 12 officer.
All right.
From where? Where did he or she got that money from? From insincerity. Insincerity of purpose. Do you understand? Not until when we remove all that, we ain't going to get nowhere. The system will keep on decaying.
Okay, now let's leave the conversation here, gentlemen. Our time is up, but I must thank you, Dikpo Oyewole, Dr. Dayo Kayode, for your time on the program.
Thank you for having me.